This one hurts.
You've chosen to share some personal news today, and it takes a tremendous amount of courage to share it. What would you like for people to know?
First, I want people to know that I'm still me. ALS has changed what my body can do, but it hasn't changed who I am.
In 2025, at the age of 39, Johnson was diagnosed with ALS, the disease progressing so rapidly that he now uses his eyes to trigger a speech-generating device to speak.
That is Chris Johnson, formerly of the Tennessee Titans and a few other NFL teams. He broke the NFL single-season yards from scrimmage record. And he even held the fastest 40-yard dash time with a time of 4.24 at the NFL Combine in 2008. It stood until 2017. So when this news came about...
Because if sharing my story helps even one person get diagnosed sooner, inspires more research, or gives another family hope.
Let's go back to last year. When did you notice that something was off?
I first noticed weakness in my right hand. At first, it was little things like my grip didn't feel right, and I wasn't as strong as I've always been.
It's hard to process it for me because I know you, Chris, from just the incredible athlete that you are. How do you process it?
Honestly, I don't know if you ever fully process it. At first, you're in shock, then you realize you have two choices. You can give up or you can fight. I chose to fight.
Everyone was taken aback. But the thing is, I noticed a trend over the years.
Well, there's nothing more important than the player health and safety as we focus on how we operate our business.
It's the one thing the NFL would rather not discuss. The potential link between ALS, aka Lou Gehrig's disease, and playing professional football. Look, we were reminded of this in the city of Chicago. Bears fans everywhere remember defensive tackle Steve Mongo McMichael. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame. And look, it was a joyous moment. It was beautiful in many ways. It was also showcasing the stark reality of McMichael's situation and many other former football players.
You guys see your bus, baby. You ready? It's gonna be right here. Mace, help me pull it down. Let's go. Oh.
Mongo, like CJ2K, was diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease. NPR would go on to cite a study from Boston University, and the results are telling. They printed, researchers examined all 19,423 NFL players who took the field for at least one game from 1960 to 2019 in what the scientists said was the largest study of ALS risk in pro football players. Previous smaller studies have also found links between league play and the disease. The next paragraph would read, the latest study found that 38 players had received an ALS diagnosis during the study period, and 28 had passed away. A fourfold increase over the rates for the overall U.S. male population adjusted for age and race.
So how has it progressed since you've been diagnosed?
It's continued to progress much faster than I ever imagined. I want people to understand just how quickly ALS can attack your body. Just over a year ago, I was picking up my 7-year-old daughter so she make a wish with her birthday cake. Today, I couldn't do that.
Look no further than a man who was on Chris Johnson's team, Tim Shaw. He was diagnosed with ALS in 2014. They both suited up for the Tennessee Titans. At UCLA, Elizabeth Coe and Eve M. Glazer would add, because the study covers 59 years, the researchers were also able to make an important connection between the length of a player's football career and their risk of developing ALS. Specifically, the longer someone played pro football, the greater their likelihood of developing ALS became. Those players who developed ALS played more than 50% longer than those who did not. Then there was Dr. Daniel Daneshvar, a co-author of the study. Dr. Daneshvar would state, and I do quote, "We believe this novel finding, linking a longer career to increased risk of ALS, adds to the growing evidence that repetitive head impacts from playing football are contributing to professional players developing ALS."
The treatment and the progression.
Having doctors who are willing to collaborate and explore every reasonable option has meant a lot to my family and me. Right now there isn't a cure, but we're seeing more research, more clinical trials, and more promising ideas than ever before.
From ALSnewstoday.com, approximately 5,000 people in the country are diagnosed with ALS each year, which averages to about 15 new cases a day. It's estimated that up to 20,000 Americans have the disease at any given time. From Coe and Glazer once more. In addition to linking the duration of a pro football player's career to an increased risk of developing ALS, the study adds weight to the idea that concussions aren't the sole or even the major danger to players. The focus is shifting to something known as subconcussive hits. These are blows to the head that, while they don't result in the nausea, headache, dizziness, blurred vision, and confusion of a concussion, still have an adverse effect on the brain. And this effect appears to be cumulative. The repeated subconcussive hits that pro football players sustain over the course of a long career are now suspected of playing a significant role in the player's risk of developing, sometimes decades later, neurodegenerative disease. Then there is the media angle in all of this, which has really failed us. Very quickly, if you can, become a paid channel member or go to Buy Me a Coffee to support this channel. Thank you.
We know by now through studies that there is a correlation between playing football and ALS. A much higher percentage of people who play football, specifically in the NFL, wind up with ALS than the general population. It is a known thing. The number of times Michael Strahan, a former football player, asks Chris Johnson about this, 0. The number of times Good Morning America brings this up, 0. It is so fucking irresponsible and grotesque.
That is Jeff Pearlman, sports writer, sports reporter, best-selling author, sports journalist, and more, calling out Michael Strahan and ABC for not bringing up any of the information that I just gave all of y'all within the span of a few minutes. Pearlman, like many, despised seeing messages such as these. Titans owner Amy Adams noted Johnson's leadership on the football field, his impact in the locker room, his impact also in Nashville, and how he is a cornerstone of the franchise. Or how about another one, shall we? The Cardinals post on social media where they're sending strength, love, and support to Chris Johnson. He played for the team for 3 seasons. Did it with the Jets, saying, "Our entire Jets family is with you." He had 1 season with the club. These all came under and in one ESPN article titled, "Former NFL running back Chris Johnson discusses ALS diagnosis." Again, I notice a pattern, and Jeff Pearlman notices a pattern here. Hopefully more do.
Not one fucking mention of the ties between football and ALS. It is so fucking gross. Why does he have ALS? Why don't you interview someone who talks about the ties between NFL and ALS? How about one single statistic about studies done on football and the impact on ALS? It's not just irresponsible, it's grotesque, all right? How about being honest about this game and this sport and the impact it has? We always tell smokers, you may not want to smoke, it causes cancer. You tell people don't drink and drive because of blank, right? Don't gamble because of blank. Football, no, we hide this. And you know why we hide it? One reason, money.
To reiterate, from Dr. Ann McKee of Boston University. You get a sense after you have seen the brains of several pro football players come to autopsy that there is a definite relationship between repetitive head impacts and brain injury that can trigger CTE and ALS. Perlman said it. I have noted it in previous videos as well. The bottom line here is quite literally the bottom line. It is the financial gain that the NFL, its billionaire ownership class, and many others stand to benefit from. And the one thing that they don't want to do in a time like right now, where we are seeing the need to emphasize player safety, and Roger Goodell going up there saying the game has never been safer. Same league, by the way, that will do race norming in order to line up their pockets, that much more. And on top of this, what they don't want to happen is see the impact that it'll have on, parents not wanting their kids to go play football, whether it's at the peewee level, the high school level, the collegiate level. We are going to see many more Chris Borland's at this point, because what we're also seeing is how the media is not calling the entire story what it is. The statistics are in. The studies are in from credible doctors, credible scientists, and they just don't want to do it. We have seen how this has played out before. And I do think that, at least in this one example, independent media is going to lead the way with this story, because it is not about sending strength. Sure, do that. What it also is about is explaining the harsh reality and the risks that come with suiting up and playing a game like this. That is what the media is not telling you. And it is for a reason. Profit.